Hey everyone, it's a little shaky. We're back with the car video, but a lot of NHL news, so we got to update ya. Busy work week for me, but a lot of stuff coming out right during the Stanley Cup Finals. So big trade, of course, that I did talk about. The big trade with Provorov going to the Blue Jackets, but the Blue Jackets are not done. They do a sign-in trade with the Devils for Damon, Severson, one of the big fish in free agency. So I just wanted to talk about it really quickly and just talk about some other moves, make some predictions, and I do got my free agency predictions coming out soon, my early ones at least, and then I usually do one like a week or two before. But Damon Severson, sign-in trade, 8-year deal, 6.25 per, I believe, to the Blue Jackets. So the Devils get a third-round pick for facilitating that. So smart move for the Devils, but honestly, the Blue Jackets, I think there's a lot of risk here. Like bringing Damon Severson in like till he's what, 36, 37. And I do think at a $6.25 million cap hit, it's risky. I think that was the high end for Severson in my opinion. So sorry, the phone's a little shaky, but just going over some news and some predictions. With Severson and Columbus, they're probably pretty solidified on their defense. I think with David Juracek coming in, they've got Werenski, they've got obviously Severson now, they've got Provorov. The bottom pair, where do you fill it out? Okay, so Branson's already in there, and Blankenberg's probably not going to play a game. For the Jackets fans out there, like poor Blankenberg. So at this point, it's either going to be Boqvist in or Andrew Peeke, and I think Peake's solidified a spot here. So they might have to shift a right shot defenseman to the left side, or, I mean, a guy like Peeke or Goodbranson is a scratch, which is crazy to say. So they're going to make a trade or two. I do think they could get decent value for Adam Boqvist, who they got in the Seth Jones trade. He's 22 years old, from Sweden, early first-round pick. I mean, if I'm teams looking for a younger right-shot defenseman, Boqvist is a good candidate to be a guy that breaks out in a couple of years, maybe even sooner. So I would look at a trade for Boqvist potentially, because I think the Jackets could get some value there and improve their forward group. One name that was heavy out there for Columbus was Kevin Hayes. So, I mean, hey, if the Jackets make some trade again with the Flyers, that'd be interesting. I do wonder if the Jackets trade a guy like Roslovic. He's a Columbus native, so that's another interesting aspect, but he's struggled. He's a guy that I feel like Babcock would not like. So if Babcock does end up being the Jackets coach, Roslovic, I don't know if you'd be a fan of that guy. And I do think with a guy like Sillinger, for example, I really think you need to stress patience with that guy. But I'll say this, if they packaged Sillinger and Boqvist in a deal, they could get a stud forward. Like, package a couple draft picks, Sillinger, Boqvist, you could get a stud up front. And there's a lot of candidates out there that they could trade for. So if I'm the Jackets, if I'm Kekalainen, no more of these risky contracts. Severson needs to be your big fish in free agency. Now is a trade. Like, now is the time to go get a forward through trade. And I think those could be candidates to get moved from Columbus. Just some other quick notes from news out there. Shane Doan is being hired by the Toronto Maple Leafs as like a special advisor to the GM. What a move to get Austin Matthews to stay in Toronto. Shane Doan was his favorite player growing up, so you know, Matty Nice from Arizona as well. A bunch of other stuff out there, but I do want to talk about the Sens quickly, just in this video wrapping up. The Sens ownership, what a mess. And I will be talking about Debrincat more. We'll see if he wants to stay in Ottawa. There's a lot of mixed signals out there, but another higher bid out as Ottawa ownership sale keeps going. So we'll see what happens. Ryan Reynolds was out. Another higher bidder was out. What a mess, man. What a mess. So we'll see what happens with the Sens, but I just wanted to shoot the shit quickly on this video and talk about the latest news. So give me your thoughts, guys. Subscribe, like, comment.